Should you tell your insurance you are driving for Lyft and Uber? Welcome back to Buck Living, a channel all about making money. On this channel, I've done tons of videos about Uber, Lyft, the gig economy, being a rideshare driver, and more. And on a lot of those videos, I always mention, huge pro tip, one, to tell your insurance that you are driving for Lyft and Uber, and two, on top of that, to get rideshare insurance. Short answer for this video, 100% yes. I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you tell your insurance you are driving for Lyft and Uber. I cannot stress this enough. 100% make sure you tell them for a couple of different reasons. One, I've said this a lot in a lot of other videos, but let's say worst case scenario, right? Murphy's Law. You're driving for Lyft and Uber. You get into an accident. Let's say it wasn't your fault. You get rear-ended. You come around, you're like, oh man, my bumper's destroyed, all this kind of stuff. You come around, you're like, all right, of course, make sure you get videos, photos, all this kind of stuff. I will say, as a quick side note, this channel has been recently sponsored by a law firm. I have their information listed below in the description. I'm really happy about this. One of their specialties is ride sharing. So if you ever have any incident, especially an accident, definitely contact them. If you say my name, Mark Ferchero, your first consultation is free. But anyway, like, so you come around and you're like, oh man, my bumper's destroyed, this is destroyed. Always take photos and videos, have proof, even if it's not your fault. Like, so you call your insurance company and you say, yeah, it was super annoying. Like, I was driving for Uber, I had a passenger in the car, and then I got hit. And they're like, wait, you were driving for Uber. You didn't tell us you were driving for Uber. You didn't tell us you were a rideshare driver. We're not going to cover you, or we're going to cover you less. And it should not be any surprise to anybody. Insurance companies will use any excuse they can to not cover you, right? This is not the position you want to be in. Now, I will be honest, being transparent on this video, if you do tell your insurance company that you are driving for Lyft and Uber, it's almost inevitable that your insurance will go up. Whether it's, like, say, an extra thing on top of it, like they say, hey, you know what, because you're driving for Lyft and Uber, we're now going to charge you, and I'm making this up, I'm making numbers up, we're going to charge you $20 extra a month. Again, I'm making numbers very simple for your insurance. Or they might say, you know what, we're going to talk on another thing. We actually have not only normal auto insurance, we also have rideshare insurance. And as a result, what we're going to do is we're going to tack on the rideshare insurance. And rideshare insurance, in case you didn't know, on average, it does depend. I'd say anywhere between $6-ish, like around that to 10, I guess, just because of inflation, right? The numbers always change. Anywhere between 10 and I'd say $30 extra when it comes to, like say, the monthly fee of your insurance. And I know you might be like, yeah, like $10 or 20 or 30. Is it even worth it? Definitely yes. Now, of course, and I want to stress this, of course, hopefully you never have to use it. Hopefully you look back and like, man, I wasted all this money like paying for rideshare insurance. I wasted all this money because I told my insurance company that I was driving for Lyft and Uber. Man, maybe it wasn't worth it. But I promise you, you're going to be in a way more, I'm going to even use this word, horrific situation or annoying situation if you don't tell them. And like I said, you get into an accident, something goes down, Murphy's Law in this, and now you're liable for you, the other person's vehicle, for bodily injury. I mean, there's a multitude of different things that could happen. And the magnitude of the situation could be way bigger than you can imagine. And I know I'm driving this point home. I know I'm really hitting it hard, But again, short answer, yes. Long answer, definitely yes. Absolutely, definitely yes. Now, I will say there are a couple different things I do suggest you should do to protect yourself. One, and this is a big one I've said in so many other videos, get a dash cam. This is absolutely massive to film both the outside of your vehicle and the inside. There are dash cams that are kind of cliche ones that film the outside of your vehicle, like in the front of it, right? You kind of put it on your windshield or whatever. But there's a lot of them out there specifically for rideshare drivers, where if you go on like Amazon or any other site and you type in like, rideshare dash cam or two-way dash cam, there are ones specifically with two-way cameras. So they both film the outside of your vehicle and the inside. Because, again, Murphy's Law in this, remember, there are incidents that do happen. Like, so if you're driving and there's a passenger who gets too rowdy, something happens, whether it's a physical altercation, a sexual assault, a lot of different things can happen. In order to protect yourself, both with Lyft and Uber when it comes to deactivation, which, by the way, keep in mind is a huge issue. It's been getting a little better, I think. I just did a video about Uber putting in new policies in place. Deactivation is something you have to worry about. And like, say, a passenger says, oh, the driver did this and this, and you're like, hey, I have the footage to prove it. That does help protect you when it comes to Uber and Lyft. But even, I'd say, significantly bigger than Uber and Lyft is any type of legal thing. If, let's say, and this happens all the time, you're driving, this actually happened to one of my friends, actually. You're driving, you're stopped, and somebody, for whatever reason, you don't know why, goes in reverse and backs into your car. You have the footage of that. This happened to one of my friends. Someone did that to her. They went to court because the lady said, oh, no, she drove into me. And unfortunately, the judge kind of ruled like, look, one lady's saying, or one person, or one party's saying that they backed up into somebody. The other party's saying that they were, that they actually drove into them. The judge's like, you know what? You guys fix your own vehicles. And my friend lost out on, potentially her claim being covered. Of course, insurance did kind of help out. But again, these are situations that happen all the time. And of course, a dash cam can heavily help out your issue. If my friend had a dash cam, she could have easily demonstrated with the evidence and the footage, like, look, she drove into me. But again, this is what happens. So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing, if you are involved in an accident, and again, this is massive, always get as much evidence as you can. Get the person's contact information. This is kind of standard, or getting into an accident 101, if that's the right way to word this. Maybe we'll do an entire dedicated video about this. But another big thing on top of that is make sure you get photos and videos. The good thing, whether you look at it in a bad or a good way, is everybody has a camera, and I might even say a high quality camera in their pocket. As a side note, I film all my videos with my iPhone. This video I'm filming right now is with my iPhone, and a lot of people ask me like, oh, is the iPhone camera even that good? Or the Android camera, or smartphone cameras in general, are they even that good? I did a video about a Las Vegas nightclub. Warner Brothers contacted me because they wanted to license out the footage I took from a YouTube video, because they said that footage was better than anything they filmed with their cameras. And they even asked me like, oh, what camera did you use? I'm like, it was just my iPhone. But anyway, make sure you use your iPhone, Android, smartphone, whatever. Get as many photos and videos. But going back to the main point of this video, and again, I really have to stress this, I do suggest the second you start driving, whether you're doing it part-time or full-time, definitely call your insurance company and say, hey, I just want to let you know I'm a rideshare driver now. Or even if you're doing delivery driving, I might even throw that kind of into place. I think that delivery driving isn't as aggressive as rideshare driving, so I will say that. I feel like the threshold for something going wrong is higher for rideshare driving because you have someone else in the vehicle of your car, right? If you get hit, and let's say it's a bad hit, not only can you be injured, but the person in your vehicle as well. That's a lot more of an issue than someone's hamburger getting squished, right? Like, of course, so I will say it does depend. I do suggest, one, contacting your insurance company. One, contact them and say, look, I'm driving Lyft and Uber now. What can I do in terms of creating a policy? I just want to let you know. I know that some people have commented on this channel saying, oh, never contact them, never tell them. This is not one of those situations, and I've heard this quote a lot, and this is, I think, a very truthful quote in business, and that is, don't ask for permission, beg for forgiveness. I do think in some cases that is true. In some industries, in some situations, that is actually a good kind of rule to follow by. Not in this case. Not in this case, right? Trust me, not in this situation. Make sure you tell them. The second thing is look into rideshare insurance. Now, when it comes to the insurance policies, some companies have an extra thing you can tack on. So there's some companies out there that say, hey, if you're driving for Lyft and Uber and you already have insurance with us, for an extra $7 a month, we'll tack on rideshare insurance, which is specific for ride sharing. Other cases, though, they say, hey, you know what? Let's say your company does not have an extra thing for rideshare insurance. You may have to go to a separate company and also have two different insurances. One for auto insurance, for your main auto insurance, and another that's almost like a special extra with a separate company that's designed just for ride sharing. Again, I do suggest make sure you talk to companies, be very transparent. This is just incredibly important. Now, one last thing I want to talk about in this video before I conclude it that's extremely important, and that is Uber and Lyft's insurance. In case you didn't know, and I've done some more technical videos about this. This video is a very beginners-friendly scraping the surface video. Lyft and Uber does have their own insurances to help protect you or cover you as a driver. It depends upon the quote unquote, what's referred to as the period of driving. Period 0, for example, you're not doing anything for Lyft and Uber. But there's a whole different, like, say, system in place. If, like, say, you're driving to pick somebody up, so you're working for Lyft and Uber, the app's on, you've accepted a ride, and you're driving to pick somebody up, there's a whole different policy and structure in place, as opposed to, like, say, if, like, you have somebody in your car and you're driving with someone in your vehicle, right? If, let's say, you get into an accident when you're going to pick somebody up, the logistics behind that from the insurance perspective are a bit different than the logistics when someone's actually in your vehicle. Now, there's different coverages, all these different things. This could even vary state to state. I believe some states have stricter or more harsher guidelines for Lyft and Uber. Other ones are more relaxed, where Uber and Lyft does not have to cover you as much. I will say this, though. At the end of the day, I've seen a lot of comments on this channel, people saying, look, Mark, I got into an accident. Uber and Lyft said they would cover it, and they didn't. Or they made up an excuse, and they did not cover it. This is why that, yes, I know some drivers said, Mark, why do I need rideshare insurance? One, I already have auto insurance. And two, Uber and Lyft has their own insurance to cover me. They say they do. Trust me, that extra, and I have to stress this point home, and I have no affiliation with any rideshare insurance company. I want to stress that. But like I said, that extra $10, let's say, or $20 a month that you have to spend just to have that added extra protection, trust me when I say it's 100% worth it. Because even if, let's say, you never use it, and hopefully you never have to, you might be thinking like, oh, Mark, well, I'm just spending money. All you need, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this in any way, shape, or form, all you need is one accident or one situation, even if it's not your fault. And if you did not tell your insurance company, you did not get that extra rideshare insurance or whatever, you're going to be in a position that's going to be way worse off than you think.